Jai Surdev, to all of you, good morning. I am Ravi Shankar, joined the Satsang from Texas. Before we begin this session, I would like to bow down and offer my prayers to the holy feet of Lord Sadgurudeo. Please join me by closing your eyes. बार बार वंदन करूं सद्गुरुदेव हमार, यहाँ वहाँ सब ठाम में महिमा परंपार। शरण शरण मैं शरण हूँ, हे गुरु बंदी छोड़। मोहे उबारो हे गुरु, यह 100 बार निहोर। Welcome to weekly English Satsang organized by North American Institute of VihangamYoga. As we know, in the current times, our day-to-day life has become busy in fulfilling our physical and mental requirements and social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine life, requirements of the soul are often forgotten or neglected. So first of all, I would congratulate each and every one of us for taking some time for us in this busy schedule to fulfill the requirement of our soul through this satsang. Today we will continue to talk more detail about the spirituality and how Vihangam Yoga will give us a direction to achieve a spiritual path in our this materialistic life. Swarved holds a central place within the philosophy of Vihangam Yoga. The recitation of its verses, known as dohe/couplets, has the profound ability to instill harmony and peace within our soul and mind, guiding us towards righteousness. Today, we are joined by Rahul Awasthiji, an individual who shares a deep connection with Vihangam Yoga. His spiritual journey has brought him to achieving great heights in his spirituality. He is a beloved disciple of Lord Sadgurudeo. Rahul ji has been blessed multiple times by his revered Guru. One of Rahulji's remarkable contribution lies in his ability to connect and correlate Swarved teachings with various other ancient scriptures and with the life practical knowledge. This interweaving of wisdom from different sources, experiences, enhance our understanding of his spirituality and bring light to the universal truth. Now let's turn our attention to Rahulji, who will elaborate the benefits of Swarved couplets, which is the knowledge is already encapsulated there, and I request Rahulji to expand that knowledge and share the meaning of those Swarved couplets with us. Over to you, Rahulji.
Thank you, Ravi Shankar ji. Jai Sadgurudeo, everyone. First of all, thanks for taking out your time for today's satsang. And I will try my level best to try and relate the knowledge which is given in today's couplet with, as Raviji has said, from Bhagavad Gita, so that we can understand how the different spiritual books guide us towards the same path, guide us towards the journey of betterment. Before I put my thoughts on today's Doha, the Doha allocated for today, I would like to put my prayers on the lotus feet of Sadgurudeo. Akhandu mandalakaram vyaptam yen characharam tatpadam darshitan yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So today we are trying to understand the meaning, the breadth, the knowledge which is hidden inside the couplet. I'll read through the couplet and then I will try to explain, try to connect it with different sources and see that we are reaching to a point of knowledge, a point of understanding which will help improve ourselves, which will help us to make our life better in the guidance of Sadgurudeo. So today's Doha is हीरा श्वास अमूल्य है सर्व भजन मेला व्यर्थ विषय मत खोइए प्रभु के शरण समाओ प्रभु के शरण समाओ. So if we go with the first paragraph, or I would say first sentence of the Doha, says, हीरा श्वास अमूल्य है सर्व भजन में लाभ. So here Sadgurudev is guiding, he is directing us towards a physical object which is called diamond. So diamond is a stone, and since the ages, not even today, but since the ages, diamond is considered to be a precious item. And some of the times, we are not even able to understand the true value of diamond because of various dimensions, various properties that diamond might contain. Can be because of the weight of the diamond, is because of the purity of diamond, can be so many factors. And because of these multiple factors, many times, we are not able to actually identify and evaluate the true value of diamond. And that is considered to be the epitome of an item which is available in the physical world. And since we are trying to attach through these words, this doha, with a very important item, very important process in the living being, that is called shwas. Shwas in English is called breath. All the human beings are taking breaths. And if we go with the yogic sciences, the length of the stay of a being in a body is decided based on the shwasas, is decided based on the breath, the number of breath that being has in the body. It can be an animal, it can be a human being, it can be any other thing like trees. So these shwasas, these breaths, are the true determinant of the length of the stay of a being in the body. It is not the time, it is not the age, which is, in the today's world, people just talk about the age and, different factors. But age is just one part of the shwasas. We can certainly calculate, we can certainly identify the number of breaths somebody is taking. And then we can give it that, okay, this is coming out to be, 1 hour or something like that. But that constant is, it's dicey. It is not a true calculation. So Sadgurudeo is comparing two invaluable things out here. Why I'm saying invaluable? Because we are, as a human being, not able to identify the true value of any one of them, be it the physical diamond or be it the breath which we are taking. And we will get to know why this breath is so important and how should we use this breath for our betterment. Now, as you understand that every breath taken by a being determines the stay in the body, certainly these individual breaths somebody is taking is so invaluable. It is so invaluable that we some of the times take it for granted. We don't value it the way we should. And there we miss out the real important part of our life. So this comparison brings out another item, another thought, that if we understand that our breath is so important, is so valuable, in some of the cases we can say invaluable, because we cannot identify the true value. So in that case, what should we do with such a valuable thing in our life, the process which is going on, and we are just not caring about it? What should we do about it? Sadgurudeo is saying that we should not waste this breath. Vyarth vishay mat khoiye. So he's saying that we should not lose the sight of the time which is spent or the time which we are losing out with this number of breaths which we are taking and not valuing it. So if we start thinking about where and how a human being should put the right effort in order to make sure that the shwasas, the breath, which is invaluable, is effectively being used in the course of the time. Now, that's the most important thing to understand and identify. And to understand it a little bit deeper, there's a concept which we would have heard, or maybe we just have heard the words, but there's a concept of three things. These three things are three parts is very important to understand in our life, in the human life. These three aspects or three actions, I should say it this way, that these are actions, are karmas, vikarmas and akarmas. In case you would not have heard of these words before, don't worry, we'll talk about it. And in case you would have heard about it and you just try and recollect what we and how we connected these three things and how these three things are quite an important part of our life. When we talk about karmas, and I think most of you would have heard about karmas. Now, karma, which is a Sanskrit Hindi word also, and now it has been a part of the English lexicon as well. So, karmas are the actions or the effort somebody is taking towards the prescribed duty, right? So this can be, karma can be an example of somebody taking a breath, somebody putting a thought, or somebody doing something for sustaining the body. Those are all the karmas we are doing. Even we cannot think of sustaining our body without doing the karmas. So karma is any and everything which we do in our life. Even thinking, thoughts are also part of karmas. So we are doing the karmas, right? So this is a prescribed duty we are doing, and we are, through this prescribed duty and actions, we are sustaining our body, we are maintaining our body. And that karma is done by every human being. Now, what are the two other things? One is vikarma, and the third one is akarma. So before I jump into and talk about vikarma, because my focus will be on vikarma, so I'll just talk about akarma a bit early so that you understand where are we going towards to. So our goal as a human being should be to do the akarmas, because these akarmas are the actions that will free us from the cycle of birth and death. So any karma which are not bounded by the cycle of birth and death, those are called akarma. So our goal as a human being should be to reach to a place so that we are doing the karmas. But right now we are doing just the karmas and we want to reach to akarma. And this one thing which is the bridge, which is something which can help out moving from karma to akarma, is the vikarma, which is said to be one of the most important thing as prescribed by Swarved and Sadgurudeo Dev Ji. If I look at from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna in chapter 4 puts one shloka in which he says, Karmano yapi bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanasya bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Which means that somebody should not be just aware about the words like karma, vikarma, akarma. They should be knowing these different type of karmas efficiently and effectively. He says, karmano yapi bodhavyam. Somebody should know what is karma. So they should have a bodh. That bodhavyam is, you should have a knowledge about karma. What is karma? What type of karma we are talking about? What is a karma? We should have a knowledge about is what we are saying as a karma. Bodhavyam cha vikarmana. Then he says, it's not just that you should only know what is karma. You should also know what is vikarma. Then he goes into the next line of the shloka, which he says, akarmanasya bodhavyam. So he's saying that a jigyasu, a yogi in the yogic path, should also know about a karma, a karmanasya. Should also know about what is a karma. And then he says, Gahana karmano gatihi. Then that person should know the interrelationship between these three types of the karmas, because they are very, very important. As I said, right now, we are just doing, and I'm talking about myself, not everyone, but majorly, most of the people are doing karmas only. They are not at a stage of a karma. It's so, it's so heightened a thing that not everyone would be just doing the karma right now. So our intention, Sadgurudeo Dev Ji is saying, our intention should be that we move from karmas to akarmas. And the process we should use is the process of vikarma. That is a bridge we should be always walking on in order to reach to a karma. And he nicely, very nicely said in a doha, which he says, कर्म छूटे जही कर्म से सो विकर्म शुभ कर्म जिज्ञासु आश्रय रहे seva karat vikarm. So he's saying, karma chute jahi karma se, so vikarma shubh karm. So he's saying that if we really want to go to a stage of akarma, a stage where our just only karmas are lost. We don't want to be stuck with only karmas, because that will be a reason of our life and death, the cycle which will happen. If we will move towards a karma, if we will bring ourselves to a stage where we are just doing the karmas, then we are in a stage of leaving from the cycle of life and death. So he's trying to make us understand that vikarma is the path. Vikarma is the shubh karma, which we should really be focused on. Our time, energy, shwasas, breaths should be focused towards vikarma. Then he says, Jigyasu ashray rahe, seva karat vikarm. So Jigyasu, a yogi, somebody who's in the path of knowledge, getting the Brahma Vidya, spiritual path, should concentrate, he should focus in the path of vikarma, and he should devote, do the seva, do the contribution towards the vikarma path. So net, what we are saying is that if we want to move from our normal karmas, which are the reason of our life and death, we should concentrate, focus our energy, breath, everything on vikarmas, because vikarmas are the one which will take us towards the karma, which is the end goal which we are trying to achieve. Right? Now, what are vikarmas? It's an important thing to understand in case you've not heard of this word, or if you don't know what is vikarma and where should we focus our energy. And these vikarmas are rightly set as the 3 pillars of Vihangam Yoga: Seva, Sadhana, Satsang. Sadguru Sadafal Devji, when he was setting up the stone for Vihangam Yoga, he focused on somebody doing vikarmas. He focused on putting the energy for somebody to cross the bridge. And if we constantly, dedicatedly put our breath, time, energy, effort, shwasas or breath are the indicator of your time, energy, effort. Right? So because when you are doing exercise or you're doing something, you would have seen that your shwasas go fast, right? When you are sleeping, when you're going in a lull mode, easy mode, then shwasas really go slow. So real indicator of time and energy is the shwasas, is the indicator of your real time when somebody will be living in the body, because that is what the indicator of the human body goes high, low, and that's what is where Swamiji was indicating that it's such an important part of our life, such an important thing in our life, that we should focus our energy, our shwasas, our breath towards the vikarma path, towards the bridge, towards the 3 pillars which are defined in Vihangam Yoga as seva, sadhana, and satsang. If you're doing seva, Seva, it's a self-independent topic, and we might have taken it in the past and will be taking in the future also. But seva towards your Sadguru, seva for the humankind, seva for the living being. There are different forms of seva. And these are actually the prescribed directions of Sadgurudev. When you start doing seva, you'll see that these are the prescribed direction, guidance from Sadgurudev himself that we should do the seva. We should try to take this Brahma Vidya out to as many people as possible. This is seva. So if somebody is spending time on seva, that person is doing vikarma. If somebody is putting the time on sadhana, that person is doing vikarma. If somebody is putting the time on satsang, which we are doing right now, then you are doing vikarma. And that is what is the basis of Vihangam Yoga. See how nicely and easily the three pillars which Sadguru Faldev Ji has put for Vihangam Yoga is directly connected to the bridge. The bridge, which is the Vikarma bridge, which he wants us to move through and pass through to reach to the akarma stage, right? So, and we actually know, some of us might be knowing also that who actually receives this akarma stage, a Jivan Mukti yogi, a yogi who is in a stage of samadhi. In the other words, we can also say a meditative practitioner who has attained liberation or samadhi while resident in the body. That means he's still a part of the body, but that person, that yogi, that sage has reached to samadhi liberation already, being a part of the body itself. And what that person is doing, that person is doing the karmas. So our focus, our energy, our consciousness should be to do the karmas, to reach to a stage where we can just focus, we will just do the karmas. And we will bring us out of the cycle of birth and death by doing more and more karmas. And the karmas are such an important player here because they are the one who will guide us, help us, create a bridge to reach to a karma stage. So, and some of the times, if we have read various books, and Bhagavad Gita also nicely defines and details out. And Swarved, if you see in Swarved also, a number of places it's been mentioned that we should be using the path of karma yoga, we should be using the path of jnana yoga, we should be using the path of bhakti yoga. So karma yoga is when somebody is following the right path of karmas, and then the person is doing yoga. That means that the self-consciousness he's trying to match with the supreme consciousness, that yoga, that means union, that the person is trying to create that union between the self-consciousness and the consciousness of the supreme entity by the karmas, right? And the karmas, we already talked about karmas, the karmas, akarmas. And somebody who is the jnana yoga. The jnana yoga path is where the knowledge of Brahma Vidya, more and more we get into the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. we will get to know how to use our mind, how to use our body towards the betterment, towards the end goal of reaching to a karma. The third one is Bhakti Yoga. It is said to be one of the very powerful way in Kali Yuga to reach to the Supreme Lord, reach to the Almighty, for the supreme, to get that supreme love, devotion towards a God. Now, this is so many different paths. Sometimes people think that why there are so many paths being given to us in various spiritual books. Why? The answer is simple. The answer is because we have a variety of people, variety of choices because of our nature, three gunas. Because of the three gunas, we have a different behavior, different thought, different way of reacting and attaching to the things. Somebody who is, very much conscious of knowing what type of karmas I can do, then that person can focus on a karma yoga. Somebody who is very much intellective, using the mind, using the brain for reaching that path, that person can use Jnana Yoga. And the other person who is very devotional by the nature, that person can use the Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. So it depends on what type of trigunas we have more, and that is why there are the various paths being given in our spiritual books, so that we can choose our path. We have the ultimate single place to reach. The directions can be different, but ultimately we'll be all reaching to a single place by taking different directions as per our choices, as per our trigunas, as per our building characters, which are given to us when we formed as a body. So to summarize, one should spend his or her time towards the effort of vikarmas. That means towards the effort in the seva, sadhana, satsang, to aim to reach a stage of yogi who has reached to a stage of samadhi or jivan mukti yogi. Being a part of this body itself, ultimately to connect, get the bliss from the Supreme God. Right? You don't have to go out of this body. You remain in this body and get connected with the Supreme Lord, Supreme Consciousness, by reaching to a stage of Jivan Mukti Yogi, reaching to a stage of practitioner who has achieved Samadhi and doing the akarmas, right? So that's how I will explain this. And in case I have made any mistake, if I have missed anything, I'm very sorry. I'll just try to keep improving and try to do my best. But in case anyone has any thoughts or anything anyone wants to put forth, please come forward and share your thoughts. Thank you.
Jai Rahulji. Very nice explanation. I have one question from the viewpoint of Jnana Yoga. If someone is a Jnani who gets all the knowledge of Brahma Vidya and Almighty, but just having a knowledge is enough, or is there next step? Means, okay, we read the books, we learned something, maybe we experienced Almighty through meditation and all that. So, at what point does it end? I mean, how it differentiates from a karma yogi? Do they have to do any karma or bhakti? Because just having a knowledge may not be enough.
Very good question, Mukeshji. Thank you so much. And if we look at our lives even today, we would have realized and experienced ourselves that getting the knowledge is, knowing about something is not sufficient. Till the time you know that how swimming is been done, and you're just standing outside the pool and thinking that yes, I can do this. Till the time you are not getting into the swimming pool, trying it yourself, the things will not move. You will not move forward. So ultimately, saying that the Jnana Yogi will not do anything, that is not the case. Jnana Yogi is actually getting all of the knowledge, right? Your path will start from Jnana, right? Your path will start from a Jnana, and it depends on the intellectual being. So that person will keep working towards getting more and more knowledge. And certainly applying that is very important, right? So when we were talking about the 3 type of karmas, right? We were talking about karma, vikarm, akarm, right? So vikarm path will also come into the picture. That is why we were saying that, the 3 pillars are very important. And why we are saying that the segregation by the karma yoga, jnana yoga, or bhakti yoga, if you see, that's more about the focus, how to apply our energy towards the same path of implementation in a different way. Somebody who's more intellectual will be very much conscious in terms of, first of all, getting the theory. First of all, I should know everything. I'll read 10 books. I'll get all of the theory. I know that, okay, this part of swimming pool is got 5 feet. This part of swimming pool has got 6 feet. This part of swimming pool has got 7 feet, and so on and so forth. So before I go into that path, applying my energy, I will try and understand everything. Okay, yeah, if I go into the 5 foot, what should I do? Even I can take some breath, I can put my feet down. I still have a chance to, survive. As long as I'm more than 5 feet, I can still survive. If I'm not more than 5 feet and I'm less than, say, 6 feet, I'm going to the area which is 6 feet deep, then I have to be conscious about it, that how far I can go, how long I can contain my breath. So all of that knowledge is the focus of that Jnana Yogi. So he or she will start from the Jnana Yoga to understand all of the different aspects. But saying that the person is not going to apply, it is not the one which I wanted to say over here, or maybe I would not have conveyed it that nicely. But application is an important aspect. Take a parallel example of somebody who's a Karma Yogi. You might have seen some people, like, they don't really worry about the theory at all. They say that put the books aside, and they will directly jump into. They'll not worry about 5 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, or 15 feet. They'll just go on, start doing it. They just focus on their karmas. They will focus. I have to have the breath. In case I'm going to the 6 feet, I have to contain my breath, even not knowing the 6 feet. That the person will say, okay, now I have to go this far. I've decided I have to go this far, and I'm going to make sure that for going this far, I'll use my karmas. Whether I'll breathe in, breathe out, I'll do exercise, I'll do something else. But I will be totally dependent on the karmas. I will not be having any prior knowledge. I don't need any prior knowledge whatsoever. So it is dependent on the nature of that person. That is what I was saying, that the focus will be different for the 3 paths, but ultimately implementation is a key. The implementation is the 3 pillars, the 3 segments which we said: seva, sadhana, satsang, in order to the vikarma and reach to the akarma stage. Hope, does that clarify your doubt?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Sure.
Jai Sadgurudeo, Rahulji, Mukeshji, I would like to add something if अगर आपकी आज्ञा हो राहुल जी.
आगे कैसी आप शुरू करिए. बहुत बहुत बढ़िया. It's our pleasure. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So very nice question, Mukesh ji. And as we can see on the screen, we get familiarized with Karm Yogi Sant and Gyan Yogi, right? And your question was around the Gyan Yogi Sant. So I wanted to just phrase this one doha from Swarved that is really very useful for the discussion. And Swamiji says in this doha, साधन सेवा प्रथम है, सेवाहीन न ज्ञान, भक्ति मुक्ति पावे नहीं, गुण स्वभाव सत ज्ञान. And the bhashya goes like this. भक्ति का प्रथम साधन सेवा है, सेवाहीन को ज्ञान नहीं प्राप्त होता, न भक्ति मुक्ति प्राप्त होती है, न उत्तम गुण स्वभाव और सत्य ज्ञान प्राप्त होते हैं. So in a nutshell, Swamiji has put a lot of wisdom in this two-line doha, wherein Swamiji says the primary method of devotion is seva. It is the implementation that Rahul ji was talking about. And the next verse says, the one without the selfless service does not get the gyan, the knowledge. So even it's actually, so karm yogi and the gyan yogi, they go hand in hand. Without the knowledge, you cannot get to the path of liberation, as well as if we don't do service, we don't also get the knowledge, the gyan. And not only that, we don't even get the devotion, the liberation, neither the righteous qualities, the topmost qualities, the behavior, as well as the true knowledge. So even the gyan comes with the seva. So, this is a very important doha, and I think this clarifies it a little bit more, that how we even get gyan. And there is some prerequisites even to get that gyan. And once we get the gyan, we already are doing the seva bhav is already there, and along with that we get other qualities as well. So I just wanted to mention that. And Mukesh ji, does that clarify your question?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for putting this forward.
No problem.
Jai Sadgurudeo.
Jai Sadgurudeo.
Sorry, please continue.
Yes, no, Utkarsh, sure. You can. I had something to share. I mean, it's not really a question, but something that really gets me to think a little bit more deeper. How this path is so I don't have the word. The whole the whole gyan that's in Swarved is just mind blowing. I went across this one doha, another doha this morning, that I was feeling like this is the ultimate stage, right, to be at. I'm actually looking for that, and it said right here. Yes. So here, this is very nice, and either Rahulji or Utkarshji just can shed some light on this. And this doha goes like this: मन कहे कब जाइए, चित कहे कब जाऊं, 6 मास के ही मिलते आध कोश पर गाँव. The भाष्य is, जिस अनुरागी पुरुष का मन कहता है कि कब जाएंगे और चित्त कहता है कि कब जाऊं, उस अभ्यासी पुरुष को 6 मास के विहंगम योग अभ्यास द्वारा आवरण प्रकृति मंडल पार सार शब्द एवं निज ग्राम चेतन महामंडल प्राप्त होता है. शशि चकोरवत निष्दिन 6 मास का निरंतर चाटक लाने से सार शब्द की प्राप्ति होती है. The source is बीजक, भाष्यकार सदगुरु सदाफल देव जी. So in this doha, as I understood it, Swamiji is not even discussing anything about karma. He is just pointing out a way to get to a state where you get eligible for the Sar Shabd, right, Updesh, which is the ultimate goal of our journey. And here Swamiji is saying, Shashi Chakorvat Nishdin Shat Mas ka Nirantar Chatak Lane se. So, and I was repeating that sentence in the back, in my mind, and I kind of understood it, but I may not be the really right person to say it in the satsang. Wanted devotees like Rahulji Karji to shed some light on this, like what is Swamiji is really saying in those 6 months. What should we do that we get eligible for that? Back to you, Rahulji or Utkarshi. Thank you.
Rahulji, may I add?
Please go ahead.
To Monika's question?
Yes, please.
I am on the highway, so please tell me if I break out. Based on what I've understood from reading Swarved, listening to the Amritvanis and Divyavanis, is that the Jnana Yoga path. And first off, I apologize. I joined late, so I heard only the last 15 minutes of Rahulji's amazingly simple explanation. It really helped. The Jnana Yoga path is not that of a beginner. The Jnana Yoga path is that of an advanced practitioner who's already reached a certain stage, maybe through their past lifetimes or existing sanskaras, where they're already eligible for going through this lifetime without needing to indulge in grihasth ashram karma bhog. So, like, without having to indulge in, associate with a family, getting married, producing children, taking care of them, they have reached a certain stage. They're not beginners. They've reached a certain advanced stage where they are able to minimize their associations, minimize their sphere of influence in life, and continue on the path of Jnana Yoga, which is focusing on acquiring Jnana, acquiring the Vivekapurna Jnana, which is the true and the complete knowledge of everything and anything that exists, which is only possible through both theory as well as the practical application. So theory is reading or trying to understand the Guru's Gyan, and the practical is experiencing it yourself. The takeaway from this is that Jnana Yoga path is not for everyone. So if I were, and I'll give you a wonderful examples of Sadgurudev's disciples, Sant Shri Ramabriksha Das ji. If I decide, for example, one day that hey, I'm going to leave everything I've done, and I'm now going to go to the Himalayas and say goodbye to my wife, my kid, and go to the Himalayas, and I'm just going to meditate. Uh, that might end up being a disaster, because it might, there's no telling what is still remaining in my prarabdha or karma bhog, which still requires me to go through the grihasthashram associations, the associations in this lifetime, and incur the fruits of those associations. It could be happiness, which could be sadness, which could be loss, or prosperity, or whatnot. So I don't even know who I am. I don't even know my previous lifetime, let alone the hundreds or thousands of lifetimes I might have. So it's only the Guru who knows what I need. That is why there's in Vihangam Yoga, there's an insistence that you have to stay within the join, especially if you join from Grihas Ashram, if you're on the path of Grihas Ashram, Sadgurudev most often, depending on the disciple, encourages them to stay within Grihas Ashram and continue doing the Vikarma, the three pillars that Rahulji so amply. The one wonderful example is Sant Shri Ramabriksha Das ji. The anecdote that I've heard firsthand is that he had given up, moved out of his home from a very young age and had become an avdut, that he didn't want anything to do with family, even wearing clothes, for example. Had no, his hair had grown into jatas. And I think during one of the Kumbh Melas, Sadgurudev happened to give him darshan. And that's when Sant Ramabriksha Das ji asked about, hey, what's the path to finding God? And Sadgurudev took him in his refuge. But the first condition, the first instruction to Sant ji was that, hey, you first shave your beard, get your hair washed, get your hair cut, and start becoming more like a civilized human. And soon after, in Sadgurudev's service, he also was married off. Not married off, but he was married, I think, to Vanmalaji, who's another accomplished disciple of Sadgurudev. So that's the gist what I'm trying to say. And to Monica ji's question, the 6 months of Tratak. Tratak is Shashi Chakorvat, that Chakor Pakshi, the Chakor bird, is said to continuously stare at the moon without even blinking their eyes. Nothing can distract them. That's the Chand Chakor relationship. I don't even know which species about that is, but the 6 months is again the advanced path of I don't know if it's Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. I think that distinction does not apply here. But if one is able to, for 6 months, continuously meditate upon, continuously gaze upon, from their inside, from their conscious surati, the conscious focus of the soul, constantly gaze upon their object of desire, which is the ultimate desire after which no desire exists, remains. The Parbrahm, the Almighty, the Supreme Consciousness. That's the 6 month duration that they will be able to achieve ultimate liberation, samadhi, the state of continuous, uninterrupted union with the Almighty. Sorry, I took much longer, but those are my 2 cents. And others, please feel free to correct if I misstated anything. Jai Sadgurudev.
Jai Sadgurudev. Very, very, very nicely explained, Utkarshi. And you rightly said that these 3 paths which we just mentioned, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. They are a little bit different in their usage, but the end goal is the same. The end goal is still to reach to that liberation stage. And as Utkarji has mentioned, in case somebody is at a very advanced stage because of the Purva Janma karmas, so that person can reach to a stage of samadhi in 6 months. That is possible. So that is what Swamiji is indicating. Is not actually mentioning that which is the direction we should take, but it's possible. Any of the path we take, ultimate goal, ultimate reaching point is the same. And the bridge which we were talking about, that will still apply as Seva, Sadhana, and Satsang. So thank you so much for pitching in and giving your very important inputs and feedback on this. Any other thoughts? Otherwise, I'll hand it over to Vishankarji.
So yeah, thank you for this lovely discussions, and anyone new who has joined this call and have some questions. I saw a lot of good discussions happening.
Yes, I think Ramaji's mic is on, so he want to ask something or share something. Please request him to go ahead.
Hey, hi Ramaji.
Okay, that might be, I think, maybe by mistake. I think he's muted now. So
I see Jai Sadgurudeo. Sorry, Lalmanji, go ahead.
No, go ahead, yeah.
I see, Ami has joined. Last time her mic didn't work, but if she would like to add some words, how she's liking the satsang and any suggestions to make it better. And then after Ami, I would request Mananji. I'm not sure if he would have joined even before and done the same, but I would like them to speak few words about our satsang, and even we are continue here to improve it. So new suggestions always welcome here. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. This is Ami. I just joined. I'm Maya's friend, and I always have curiosity about the meditation and the spirituality. So finally, I think I joined. I always reluctant. I had joined a couple of organizations before, and I don't feel comfortable or what I was seeking for. And in this satsang, I think I on the right path. And how it started is Maya gave me Swarved Grantha. She came for Ganesh Chaturthi festival, and she gave me that. And for I think almost a year and a half, it was still intact. I didn't even open it, but I'm glad that now I'm start reading it since yesterday, and I read one doha, but it's I'm struggling because I'm new, and I need to get proper knowledge to understand. But I'm really enjoying coming here, and I think I'm on the right path. And I want to thank you, Mayaji, to drag me into this one. I think I'm on the right path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ami. And I'm very happy that you really started reading Swarved, and so much within you that I feel once you start joining, continue this satsang, will help you what you're seeking for. So my request would be consistent, and any question, even from your reading or any spiritual question comes, this forum is always open for open discussion. So please do not hesitate, and that's the way we all learn together. Here, we all cannot read all the chapters or multiple topics, but this is the thing: if we didn't touch the next topic, you already have a preliminary base knowledge that discussion happened, and maybe some curiosity make you go further into the next topic. So that's very good to discuss here everything what we are exploring into the journey together. Mananji, if you are listening me, please you also put some words that would be very encouraging for all of us. Thank you.
Jai Sadgurudeo. My name is Manan. I'm just a newbie here. However, I did hear about Vihangam Yoga from Mayaji, who teaches Vihangam Yoga at our Bal Vihar session. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join before because this 10:30 time conflicts with Bal Vihar. However, I'm happy to learn that there's also another session that I can join, which is in Hindi. I think hearing from what we heard today, and just I think everyone's doing an amazing job. And the key here is, each of the Swarved going through the verses and providing the explanation is very important to me. And I will talk to Mayaji afterwards and trying to get a hold of how I can get this Swarved in English translation ahead of time, so I can go through a couple of them that we'll be discussing at the session. But I'm looking forward to growing spiritually. Again, today's comparison to the Swarved to the Bhagavad Gita was also helpful. That's what we're also learning in Bal Vihar. So I appreciate giving me the opportunity to join. Thank you. Jai Sadgurudeo.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mananji. And I should say the day one when I met Mananji and his wife Meeraji, and in fact the son Vivan, all of them are very spiritually, I think they are very, very spiritually influenced people. With no time, they just started that, that in immediate reaction of acceptance and adoption. Without Sadhguru's grace, master grace, are you building a foundation spiritually, whatever you are doing, it wouldn't come. So seeing so many, people and me learning together, I could see that right away, Mananji. And please, please continue. This journey is beautiful, and we all are learning together. It's always very good to give new energy, get new energy, new questions, and being answered for the same question. We all, if one perspective we have understood, there's always room to see the subject into the different reflection, that every mind could bring the ideas and understand it in even deeper level. So thank you so much for joining, and whenever possible, please keep joining Hindi or like on Saturdays, same time, and English is Sunday. So obviously with Bal Vihar, we are little limited here. But yeah, Swarved, the English one, I'll touch base with you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Raviji.
Thank you, Mayaji, for introducing Mananji to this platform, and hopefully, Mananji, you will be benefiting a lot from the satsang and coming forward.
Jasudeo, Raviji, just to correct our wordings, actually, we will be benefiting a lot from Mananji's bhav, because the very first word he spoke in this satsang was Jai Sadgurudeo. And that tells a volume that of a new person joining and greeting us with Jai Sadgurudeo speaks a volume about the bhav with which a seeker joins the satsang. So thank you for encouraging us and joining this satsang today. And we need you, Maranji. We need you, people like you, to be able to continue this journey with satsang, with seva, with sadhana. So thanks for being with us.
Rightfully correcting me, Vijayji. Yes. So, if there is no more questions, then we, seeing the interest of the time, will be moving to our next segment. Or if anyone has to put some points, they can discuss now. Okay. So before going to the last segment of this satsang, I would like to take some time to recognize the warrior of the week. We all know, the foundation of Vihangam Yoga is sadhana, satsang, and seva. And of course, we all know what is the key role of Swarved to achieve our spiritual goals. So sadhana, we generally conduct, we are taught by our guru that you have to do meditation on the regular basis. And the best time to meditate is in the Brahm Muhurat, that is 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. in your time zone. But most of us are unable to take advantage of this time. So just to encourage everyone and to create a routine, we have created a WhatsApp group known as Brahm Muhurat Warrior, where we request each of us to join there if they are interested, and wake up on their time between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Do a minimum of 10 minutes of sadhana, and you just need to write a done or text message in that group, WhatsApp group. So this year, Warrior of the Week, we have Bhagwati Patel ji, Radha ji, Surya Alam Raju ji, Tejinder ji, Yogesh Sagar ji, Amit Talekar ji, Srirang ji. And inductees of the week is Monica ji, Lalmani ji, Sudhanshu ji, Sri Ram Sahu ji. Thank you so much for doing Brahm Muhurat Sadhana. It motivates each of us. We have now reached the last phase of today's workshop. In this phase, we chant a short version of Vandana, Aarti, and Santi Path. Vandana is the prayer through which we seek blessings of Sadgurudeo. We request well-being, health, wealth, and seek his blessings for his spiritual knowledge. I would now request Jessica ji to sing the last 4 lines of Vandana. Over to you, Jessica ji.
Jai Sadgurudeo. Vandana. Prabhu Kalpa Santa Samaja Uttama Sarva Dharma Acharya He Jimi Nadya Ashrita Sindhu Ki He Vishwa Papamaya Karya He Prabhu Satya Santa Samaja Tira Aparaksha Kijiye Jana Sada Phala Jnana Bhakti Hridi Dina Dina Kijiye.
Thank you, Jessica ji. Our next prayer is Aarti. Here we acknowledge the power of Almighty and pray that all disciples experience eternal joy, love, and freedom from worries under his holy guidance. I request everyone to stand up for Aarti. I would now request Jessica ji to sing last few lines of Aarti.
Aarti. Jai Gurudeva Hare, Sadgurudeo Hare, Shisha Janana Ke Sanse Shana Medora Kare, Jo Shanana Miawe Satapata Pawe, Mohamite Jivaka, Sukha Shanti Vepawe, Dukha Damite Jagaka. Guru Morati Gati Chandrama, Sevaka Nayana Chakor, Palaka Palaka Nirakatarahe, Guru Morati Kiyo, Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta He, Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta, Tina Pada Amrita Bara, Shweta Mahanada Shweta, Ashta-chakra sabashunya para dara adake pa sahasada phala karakia puli para sansar.
Thank you, Jessica ji. I would request everyone to sit down for Santi part. Santi part, we chant for the peace for everyone in this universe, and may Sadgurudeo bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I would now again request Jessica ji to recite last few lines of Santi part for us. Over to you, Jessica ji.
Shanti Bhav. Hey Prabhu Shanti Swarupa Ho, Shanti Shanti Maya Shanti, Shanti Shanti Jana Shanti Ho, Purna Shanti Maya Shanti. Hey Prabhu Shanti Pradana Kara, Dorava Ho Sarva Shanti, Deva Sada Fulla Shanti Maya, Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti. Puliya Satgurudeva Ki Jai.
Thank you, Jessica ji. I must say that you have wonderfully sung Vandana Aarti and Santi part. The lay and the dhun was spot on, and the pronunciations were spot on. Thank you so much, Jessica ji. I would like again to thank Rahul Avasthi ji for explaining the deep meaning of that couplet, like Hira Saans Amulya hai, and we all need to value our each and every breath and try to put as much as we can towards the path of this spiritual journey. And thanks all the new joinees, and sharing your thoughts and spending your time in this satsang with us and sharing your experience. Thank you all who have asked beautiful questions and made the satsang more meaningful. Satsang is always about the questions, answers, discussions. We are doing trying to share the knowledge. So thank you all. So I would like to encourage everyone to ponder upon the topic what we have discussed today. Special thanks to Rahul ji and Jessica ji. I pray Sadgurudeo for peaceful and spiritual week ahead for all of us. We'll meet on the same Zoom bridge line next Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, have a wonderful day, and Jai Sadgurudeo to all.